Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. What is Weekly Recap, you ask? Well, if you're new here, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll tell you about Weekly Recap. It's me, an owner-operator, going over my numbers for 1 week. I am leased to an 80-20 split refrigerated carrier. I do not talk about the carrier in any way, so it just does me no good. So whatever, let that go. Going to go over the numbers. This is 7 days or less. This week actually is a full 7 day running. And what I do is I go over the running, the loads, why I did them, where I went, all that good stuff. And then I'll break down the numbers for you, go over the money I made, the variable cost in there. And then at the end, you'll hear me say, this is the money left to do what I have to do with. And that's where you would plug in the things that I didn't talk about, like, and things I don't talk about: truck payments, trailer payments, insurance, taxes, all that you have to figure out on your own. So you do you, and hopefully it works out for you. But I can't give you that information. That's up for you to go get. This is just numbers. Don't let it hurt your feelings. This is what happened to me. You didn't have to do this. I did. And this is the results of what I did. And that's it. You know, if you like the numbers, you like them. If you don't, you don't. If you know somebody that's wanting to become an owner operator, send them this. Let them know, hey, we're putting out legitimate numbers over here. This is what I do week in, week out. And that's pretty much it. If I forgot anything, I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments. Here we go. All right. Started off in Minnesota, came home, took a few days off, got back at it. I like to go Minnesota out and back, as you know. If you've been here any time, I like to go Minnesota out back, rinse, repeat. That's what I do. Family's in Minnesota, so I come back to Minnesota. We got a load Minnesota to Pennsylvania. Yeah, Minnesota to Pennsylvania. Haven't been out to the East Coast in a while, so I figured, hey, let's ride out there. This was not all the way out east. This was like more central Pennsylvania, I would call it, area, like off 81 area, Interstate 81. So that load was 175 empty miles. It was 1133 on the loaded miles, 1308 total, negative 10 degrees, 40,000 pounds. Come on. And that load paid $4,300. There you go. That's what you get from Minnesota to Pennsylvania. Eh, didn't want to do it, but hey, good money, so I do it. That's what I do. And then coming back from Pennsylvania, I haven't been out to Pennsylvania in a few months. Boy, that is a bag trying to get up out of there. I had to call in some favors to get out of there with any money here lately. It's been my experience, so that's why I kind of quit going to Pennsylvania as much as I was. So, Pennsylvania got a multi drop load, one pick, two drops coming back from Pennsylvania. And that was Pennsylvania to Ohio, finishing out in Illinois. Okay, 56 empty miles, 836 on the loaded miles, 892 total miles, and that paid 1750. And that load was 36 degrees, 14,000 pounds. So at least we come up out of there pretty light. And a good chunk of that did come off at the first stop. So we did get good fuel economy on that one, if nothing else. But that's what you get coming out of Pennsylvania. I say that's what you get. It's not necessarily what you get. It's what I got. Okay. Let me change my thing there. I keep saying we as well. There's no we. I'm not a team. It's just me in this truck and my multi personalities. The people in my brain that talk to me throughout the day and tell me to do things. Yeah, I can be held responsible for my actions. It's the people in my head telling me to do this stuff. And then that landed me over in Illinois and bounced over to Missouri. Missouri to Minnesota. Actually, excuse me, that was not Minnesota. That was Wisconsin. We came back to Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Let me write that down correctly real quick. We went Missouri to Wisconsin, 127 empty miles. Nope. To go get a load that was going 530 miles. Gulp. that was paying $1,000. Yes. Yeah. The problem with it was the load. Well, not the problem, but the deal with it was uh, the multi-stop load finaled on a Saturday morning in Illinois. And I just come out of the house, so I didn't want to sit there for a reset. So they called with a few options, and this was probably the best option, I thought, because it was a dry load. It weighed 44,000 pounds right out of St. Louis, and it picked up on a Saturday. I mean, that was the benefit to it. It picked up on a Saturday afternoon, and it delivered first thing Monday morning. So dry load. Beer, obviously if we're in St. Louis picking up a dry load that weighs 44,000 pounds, pretty much everybody knows where I'm at. So, those beer distribution places, man, they unload quick. I do not mind a dry beer load. I don't mind a refrigerated beer load if I got to, protect from freeze or whatever. Because shout out to all my beer distributors out there for getting a truck unloaded in a pretty efficient manner. You don't sit there all day. It's quite refreshing. When you go from grocery warehouse to food service warehouse, and then bam, you hit that beer unload. I don't even know what to do with myself. I backed in there, and literally they had two forklifts on this thing. Two. I'm talking bing, bam, boom, boom, boom. They had 20 pallets pulled off of there. 20 pallets of that delicious Bush Light or whatever the hell it was. I don't care what it was. It unloaded fast, and I was thankful for that because that always sets you up nice. When you get, so I think they opened at like 6 or 7 in the morning. I was there right as they opened. That sets you up pretty nice because you can book another load real quick, Monday morning. So I like that. But that was the week. Minnesota to Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania to Ohio to Illinois, bounced from Illinois over to Missouri, and that load up to Wisconsin. So pretty streamlined week. This is a pretty common week for me, actually. I've done every one of these runs before in the past, so yeah, it's what trucking's become to me. It's no longer an adventure. It's just I move things for money. I mean, that's the slogan of my trucking company. I don't have things on the side of my truck, but if I had like a logo, it would be like, we move things for money because that's all it is to me. I move stuff, I get the money, I go home. That's it. That's the only reason I'm out here. There's no adventure. None of this means anything to me other than to make the most money I can. So that was the week. Good little running. I didn't mind it. Hadn't been out to Pennsylvania in a while. Dodged the Indiana toll road, went on 20, and I got to say, they've made some nice improvements out there since the last time I went across that. Shout out to Indiana. Hey, when you do something good, I'll give you some props. The rest of your interstate, you need some work, Indiana. See, that's what you call a compliment sandwich. See, it's a compliment with some shit on the back. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know. It's like saying that dress looks nice. If only your hair was done. It's like don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway, that's the week. Made $7,050 together with me and my carrier combined. $7,050 total. My 80% of that to my business was $56.40. Now let's break it down. We had to run, here go we again, 2,857 miles to make that money. All miles, 2857, 2499 of that was loaded, 358 empty miles. Whew, that's a lot of empty miles. And that is 12.5% on the empty miles. The majority of that came off that first run. I had to run way out into the woods to get that load. So it was all right. It was paying good. They paid accordingly. It's what you got to do sometimes. But 12% deadhead, not a deal breaker, just a little higher than I would like. Now let's talk about the per mile breakdown. $2.46 a mile for every single mile the truck turned. I'll take that. I'll take that, especially this time of year and everything. again, I should say this is the beginning of the video. This is from March, like second week of March here. We're looking at 2025, second week of March. March is to me always like one of the rougher times in refrigerated freight because it's like the income tax bump is wore off. You know, people ain't out there spending that money. You kind of settled in. It's still kind of wintry outside. You're not outside doing anything. There's no good holidays as far as like getting people out, making them spend money. To me, March is always like the e-break of refrigerated trucking. And I mean, I may be wrong about that, but um, it seems like every other month has like a good reefer holiday. Um, maybe not January, but January's like you're still okay, because you're coming off that holiday splurge, and in February you got Valentine's Day, which is good because you got a lot of flowers, a lot of chocolate moving. March, but we coming back. We coming back. April is going to be good. I got a feeling we're coming back in April and May for reefer season. Come on, just hang in there, people. Hang in there, or sell out. Yeah, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm definitely not giving advice. You do you. But anyway, back to these numbers. $1.97, my 80% per mile. So I made $1.97 for the truck miles, and that's 282 a loaded mile. So that's pretty good for loaded miles. I'll take that 282 for this time of year. Overall, I will give this week a pretty good score. I mean, I did have to take that, less than $2 a mile dry load up out of St. Louis, but it moved me to a better position versus sitting in St. Louis, Southern Illinois area, waiting on something better for Monday. Sometimes you take what you can get and you move out of an area. I'm a mover. I don't like to sit and wait because honestly, I know it was a Saturday, but freight didn't look that good on a Friday anyway there. So we're like, what am I going to get when I set for Monday, but that's what it was. Now let's go to variable cost. Sorry, this video is all over the place. I'm going to try to reel it in here at the end, tighten it up. Uh, no promises though. 10.15 on diesel, $1,015 on diesel. If you're spending too much on diesel, it's your own damn fault because there'll be an ad at the end of this video that'll tell you a better way to buy diesel if you're spending too much on diesel. 165 on reefer fuel, $56 on def fluids, $55 on tolls, and 0 on parking, 0 on scales, $12.91 total variable cost. Bring over my $56.40. My business is 80%. Subtract out the $12.91, and that leaves $43.49, $4,349 left for me to do what I have to do with. And that's a week of running, folks, right there. Hope everybody enjoyed the weekly recap here. If you did, smash that like button, send it to a friend, share it out on, whatever, the TikToks or whatever you're doing these days, kids. I am on Facebook now. I'm not putting a lot out over there because Mark Zuckerberg ain't paying me no money to do nothing over there. So I just put a few things over there. If you want to follow over there, go for it. And don't forget to check out my other channel, Epic Trucking Fails. Links down there for all that. Go check out Epic Trucking Fails if you need a good laugh. And I promise I won't say sody water. I promise. And have a great week, everybody. Hope everybody has a great week. Take care of each other out there. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Loves? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back, take all your information, and you'll be in the network.